a special team of detectives from CID headquarters in Nairobi has taken over investigations into the death of Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo. The officers from the homicide unit based at Mazingira building took over the probe from their colleagues in Machakos. The team led by head of the unit, John Kariuki, will work with those from Machakos and are expected to attend the planned postmortem today on the body of Mutula. Now, sources at CID headquarters revealed the team revisited the scene where the body was found and was set to take over other samples that were collected from there. They also interviewed Mutula's workers who prepared him supper Friday night. The source also said the CID team took away samples of the food for testing and analysis. This came as a family spokesman revealed 3 committees have been formed to make the funeral arrangements.
Of course, in being part of government, there's wider consultation that needs to be done.
The right process and steps are being taken, and today, as you have been told, we have set a primary committee that will coordinate other committees now, work very closely with the family to determine, as you know, this is a family matter now, to determine the date of burial.
Let's move away from Nairobi now and take you to Utangwa village in Boni, the late Senator Mutula Kilonzo's rural home. Our reporter Angel Katusia spent the day yesterday with Mutula's neighbors, and here now is the story of a grief-stricken neighborhood.
Constituency. Our first stop is at AIC Utangwa Church. Late Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo contributed financially to the construction of this church, and it is here the late senator would worship when he visited his rural home. In the church, the mood is gloomy. Speaker after speaker here paying tribute to Mutula.
Tulikuwa tunampenda kabisa na tunasikitika kwa kifo chake.
We then head to his home a few meters from the church. A blanket of sober silence hangs over the late senator's home, but the scenic environment would describe late Mutula's love for nature. We are shown around the home, and his memories are still fresh. For instance, this room where the late Mutula met his visitors, the national flag still hangs. We are told when he last visited the rural home a few weeks ago, he had had a cup of tea with some friends here. The walls of this room evidence of Mutula's love for the wild cat. Just behind Mutula's home, Mutula's late parents' house still stands. Both parents passed on, his late father in the year 2000 and his mother in 2004. We are told he adored his parents.
Madam,
it is a grey Sunday for residents of Utangwa village. As leaders and neighbors begin to stream into the late senator's home, they are yet to come to terms with the shocking news of Mutula's sudden death.
The country might have lost a brilliant lawyer and a brave politician, but for his neighbors here in Utangwa village in Boni constituency, they've lost a man they term as simple, humble, and a friend to all.
He was very hardworking. That's one of the remarkable things we'll forever remember him for. He was a man of principle. He was very disciplined.
Tumeshangazwa sana na kifo cha Mutula. Alikuwa jirani yangu hapa karibu kwangu, ni hapa tu. Tumepika sana. Alikuwa mtu wa maana kwetu, jirani mzuri. Hakika mimi sina maneno ya kusema. Tumepoteza sana.
Sisi tunasema tumepoteza kiongozi Mutula Kilonzo.
Tunampenda, tunamuita baba wetu wa huko Boni. Sisi tumekosa. Sisi hatujui tutasema nini.
And in Wote, the Makueni County Governor, Professor Kivutha Kibwana, talked to KTN about his days as Mutula Kilonzo's classmate, saying the senator will be dearly missed.
We shall miss him. I went to secondary school with Mutula.
So it is somebody I know from a long time in Machakos school.
And we, of course, condole with the family and with Kenyans at large. Let's move to matters of insecurity. Now, at least 125 people are nursing serious injuries in Bungoma County after a daring attack by a gang on 3 villages. The victims of the attack claim that the men descended on Kibabi, Kikwechi and Mukwa villages at night, indiscriminately attacking men, women and children. But ironically, they left without stealing anything.
The attack that left 125 people in Bungoma seriously injured has shaken this otherwise peaceful county. The thought that the gang could attack children as young as 9 years and not steal a dime has baffled residents.
Ilikuwa saa 6 usiku na tukasikia nduru zinapigwa. Wakati tulisikianga nduru, ilikuwanga wanaingia kwa boma kwa boma wakipomoa. Sasa wakati wanapomoa na wenyewe wanapika nduru. Sasa wakati wa kupika nduru, sasa ati jirani mnakimbia, yule anafika huko anakatwa. Yule anafika kwa jirani mwingine anakatwa. Sasa ndio wakaendelea hivyo kukata kila mmoja mpaka ndipo sisi tulichukuliwa tukaletwa huko.
The gang attacked 3 villages, Kibabi, Kikwechi and Mukwa, in the dead of the night, reportedly even using poison to subdue their victims.
They were globed, they were brutally handled, and most of them had fractures and a lot of trauma. Wengine macho, kuna mmoja tulipeleka Eldoret, jicho lilitobolewa with a sharp object, and eventually that eye will be lost because ilimwaga maji ya ndani yote. Wagonjwa wengi macho ziliharibiwa, hata kuna mzee mmoja inaonekana acid ilimwagwa kwa macho yake na akanyweshwa ingine by force. So on the ground we received patients, emergency services zilifanywa kama kushonwa tu na kufunga, lakini wagonjwa wenye wanastahili kama maplasters, we have no facilities, hatuna hizo plaster.
Another armed group of gangsters raided Dengelwa village, but these villagers were ready for them as they lynched 2 of the 3 men and handed the 3rd to the Bungoma police officers.
Haya mambo yametokea Tana River, yametokea Baragoi, yametokea Nairobi, sasa imefika Bungoma. Hatujui ni wapi itatokea tena.
Wetangula has asked the government to launch investigations into this bizarre incident. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Meanwhile, at the coast, a police officer is fighting for his life in hospital after yet another attack by a gang on a police booth in Mombasa. The incident, which occurred on Saturday night at Freer Town in Mombasa County, saw the gang escape with the officer's gun.
Japheth Njeru, a police officer last posted at a booth in Freer Town, Mombasa, is the latest casualty in yet another daring ambush on security agents at the coast. He could barely be heard through the bandages as he tried to narrate his ordeal at the hands of the attackers.
He is out of theatre and he will continue to be under observation until further notice, until we declare him out of danger.
According to the injured officer, the gang of 5 descended on him with machetes and viciously hacked him, leaving him for dead as they escaped with his gun.
By the time his colleague came, because he started calling him as he was being attacked, he was not able to get these people. They had already escaped and they had gone with his rival.
During the ambush, Japheth Njeru was all alone at the booth since his colleague had gone to the bathroom. Confirming the incident, Kisauni OCPD Julius Wanjohi blamed the Mombasa Republican Council for the attack.
We suspect the MRC.
This is the second time the police booth is being attacked in a span of 4 months. In the first incident, the police killed 3 attackers and managed to arrest others who were later arraigned in court. Leaders from the area, amongst them Nyali Member of Parliament Awiti Bolo, have condemned the incident, saying tackling insecurity in the area is turning out to be a hard task on the police, who he says lack mobility.
Haiwezekani kamwe kumaliza insecurity kwa sababu police hawana equipment.
Wataka kutuondolea hivi hapa ili wapate hizo silaha waweze kutuumiza ama wanatakaje?
Kama askari mwenyewe amejitahidi vile ilivyo na akatumia bunduki, inamaanisha amejihama pia na silaha ambazo hapa Kisauni tunamaanisha kwamba na Freetown kuna hizi small arms bado ziko mikononi mwa watu.
Area residents are calling on the government to rethink their strategy in dealing with the runaway crime in the area. At least 26 officers have been killed so far, mostly in Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale counties.
Let's move on to some sports news this morning. And the Kenya Sevens second-tier team, Shujaa, won their maiden CAR Africa Sevens rugby title after edging out a stubborn Zimbabwe 24-17. The team did not lose any match and they went all the way to win the final encounter. The chairman's select team lost in the bowl finals to Morocco, who managed to try at the last minute of the game to secure a narrow 12-5 win.
It was a defining moment for the Kenya second-tier team Shujaa, who left a mark in the Continental Sevens Championships. Kenya showed good spirit from day one and cruised to the semi-finals without conceding a match. The third-tier team, the chairman select, also showed what the future holds for the Kenya Sevens rugby team by reaching the ball finals and losing to Morocco. Kenya made World Cup bound Zimbabwe, who fielded the entire first team players. The Southern Africans displayed their attacking power in the dying minutes of the second half. Robert Taringo, Humphrey Kayange, Philip Omai and Eden Aguero gave Kenya the 27 points, despite Zimbabwe pulling last-minute threats. 6 members of the team from the Shujaa side will leave the country tonight to join the Kenya Sevens main team, who will try to redeem themselves in Scotland and London legs.
I believe the way forward we're going to have as many tournaments as possible, and I believe we're going to be trying out each different combinations, trying to get a blend of the experience and more of the young guys. We're on the way there to competing against the world, and I believe many teams have really stepped up from the last time that we ever met, and I believe the way forward is we're stepping in the right direction.
Sports mends the mind of the youth and allow them, keeps them away from mischief. So we are here, we will always be here, and we'll continue to support rugby.
To football news now, and former league champions Ulinzi Stars were disarmed by Karoturi Sports as they went down 2-0, with Gor Mahia leaving Kakamega with a single point after being held to a barren draw by league debutants Homeboys.
This weekend has been all Tusker and Gor Mahia, the two continental representatives who were bundled out in the first leg of the African Soccer Showcase and are now playing catch-up to other teams who have played 9 rounds of matches. Ulinzi Stars kept their guard against Karoturi Sports before the breather. It was expected that after this changing pep talk, the soldiers could contain Karoturi Sports. Instead, the visitors shook the net in the 58th minute through former Congo United's Haji Mwachiponi.
And what a left shot here by Mwachiponi. And
Karoturi, who had clawed back huge possession, added the second, the 76th minute. Ugandan Zinda Hussein tapping in from close range after Simon Pierre's free kick.
Goal! And it is the Cameroonian Simon Pierre with a second.
At the Umia Sports Complex, the Green Army was unable to unlock Kakamega Homeboys' defense, who put up a spirited fight to hold the visiting Kogalo to a barren draw. Both sides will ruin missed chances in the match. Dennis Mukaisi had a chance to silence Gor Mahia's visiting supporters in the 10th minute, but his shot was blasted over the post. Ramo Salim could not find the back of the net despite the numerous chances that came his way. Following Sunday's results, Gor Mahia are joint 8th on 11 points with the AFC Leopards, although they have 3 matches at hand. Tusker is 13th on the log after both continental failures, playing 6 rounds of matches.
Now, world and Olympic 3,000-meter steeplechase champion Ezekiel Kemboi started his road racing career in Eldoret when he took part in the inaugural GoTV 10-kilometer race. And though he did not win it, he said it was part of his transition from the track to the punishing road races. Now, the race this year was won by former Sotokoto Safari half-marathoner champion David Tarus and Pascalia Jepkorir.
All of you.
There was no talent deficit at the inaugural GoTV 10-kilometer race held in Eldoret town on Sunday morning. But the notable face among those who lined up was Ezekiel Kemboi, the reigning world and Olympic champion in 3,000 meter steeplechase. Kemboi was not only using the race as part of his preparation for the World Championships in Russia in August, but also to gauge his endurance ahead of his marathon debut. The race, which attracted road race specialists, was too much for the king of 3,000 meter steeplechase, as he was slowed down by a stitch in the 8th kilometer. And while Kemboi was struggling to find his footing, David Tarus was enjoying the lead, which he maintained and crossed the finish line in 28 minutes 5.8 seconds. Kemboi finished in the 30th position.
Tuliweza kukimbia kama tumechelewa kidogo, najua ilikuwa kali, but I managed to try my best to run according to how the tough competition was. Kwanza nilikuwa mazoezi siku ya leo, vile mnajua race yangu sio 10 kilometers, race yangu ni 3 kilometers, so leo nimeenda extra 7 kilometers ili nipate speed na endurance.
Bulgaria World Half Marathon bronze medalist Pascalia Jepkorir clinched the women's title after timing 32 minutes 56 seconds ahead of Gladys Kombai.
Now, the 2008 National Rally champion Baldev Singh Chagga registered his third successive win of the season in 3 different competitions when he clinched the Sikh Union round of the Kenya National Autocross event at the Portland Quarry in Athi River.
Having won the first and second rounds in Athi River in Jamhuri Park, former National Rally champion Baldev Chagga was at it again on Sunday afternoon, clinching the dusty and rocky Portland cement quarry in Athi River in a time of 5 minutes 46.20 seconds. In the open class, beating his Menengai oil teammate Onkar Rai to second place as John Kanyali driving a Platts hybrid came in third a minute later. Despite being on the lead in the 2WD turbo class, former autocross champion Ricky Aslam retired in the 3rd heat, leaving Bobby Same with an easy afternoon as he beat Amit Pandya by milliseconds. Newcomer Anita Owen was a surprise winner in the 4WD turbo in Nish Lakhani's Kenya Kart Land Rover hybrid car. Sunday's event saw the big names in the rally fraternity such as Jazz Nandra retire early. The engine of his buggy blew up. Youngster Eugene Minor also retired after the first heat with engine problems. Out of the 36 drivers who entered for the duel, only 5 failed to finish.
Let's go to some basketball action that took place yesterday, and the Thunders showed an energetic play throughout the day's match as they overcame Blazers 56-39 at the Nyayo National Gymnasium. Thunders took lead in all the quarters. The first quarter ended 13-8, while the second was 15-6 to put the halftime scores at 28-14. The third and fourth quarters ended 10-6 and 18-17 respectively to ensure Thunder takes 2 league points home after their win. In another Premier League match, a Strathmore team survived a scare as they narrowly beat KCB Lions 62-59 at the same venue. The KCB Lions took the first quarter with a resounding 14-10 win and then failed to dominate in the tightly contested second quarter, but went 16-15 in favour of Strathmore to put the halftime scores at 29-26 in favour of the Lions. The third quarter was even as each team got 11 points. Strathmore dominated most part of the last quarter, but ended 25-19 to make the final score 62-59. So I was going to read you the story on Arsenal versus Manchester United. I don't know if my director is in on this. My suspicion, obviously, is that she supports Arsenal, as does our cameraman, who seems to have issues with it. But let me quote my cameraman, Isaac, who says, Arsenal played well. It's just that we drew. Okay. I would believe that the goal of having a football game is that you actually win. So you cannot do well if it is a draw. And just need I remind you who the champion, the league winners are. It certainly is an Arsenal. So, okay, I'll stop rubbing it in now. We've come to the end of the show. It's going to 9 o'clock now, almost 20 minutes to 9. And I do want to thank you for joining us throughout this one. Let me read you some feedback here on our discussion this morning. Obviously, you were able to go in on our discussion with Louis Otieno and Martin Mutula. Alfred Masaba, you say R.I.P. Mutula Kilonzo. He was fearless, frank, spoken, and stood for justice. We've lost a key pillar to reforms. Kibembo, you say you absolutely love the conversation, insightful and incisive. Thank you. Happens every Monday with Louis Otieno and Martin Mutula. And we hope to just make it better and better. Jared Onkuri, you say Mutula has been a mentor, role model, father, and a minister who is practical. Rest in peace. Jobmas, I think your username keeps changing a little bit, or you've just changed it, I think, since the last time I saw your tweet. You say, since it's been my first time on the show, do tell me, do we do this every morning? Oh, we most definitely do. Odeko Chum talking about the gentleman seeming to corner me. Indeed, they do sometimes, and that's the beauty of the discussion. On matters of condom use, Peter Ngeleche, you say it's true you change the world one man at a time, but when it comes to Catholics and condoms, that does not apply. And then here's another one. Reverend Harrison Koske, thank you for watching. We do know you watch us every single morning. Asante Sana, you say, condom in church is a different issue. To me, as a man of God, let's teach the flock how to abstain, period. All right, thank you for your view there. Mike Cullen, seems like you're still coming to terms with the death of Mutula Kilonzo, saying, I don't understand how such a guy would die. And then, of course, several others. There's so many. I suppose I cannot read all of them. And of course, on matters of salaries and Atwoli, you had your say on that on Twitter. So I won't get into that. Oh, here's one. I think we can read this one. Gitonga George, you say, Law 6 in the book 48 Laws of Power is that to remain relevant, you must quote potential at all costs. Atwoli knows it. All right. So those are some of your thoughts there. Of course, most of them on the sudden demise of Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo. The one thing we would urge here at Sunrise is to refrain from any speculation until we have that report from the pathologist. I'm seeing a lot of rumor mongering happening on Twitter and on our SMS feed to just exercise caution and patience in the statements that we make, and to also remember that there is a family in mourning and a family that is grieving, so let's be respectful of them at this time. I want to leave you with my quote of the day today. And it's all about success and what it is, how it is you gauge success in your life. Now, this quote goes like this. You have succeeded in life when all you really want is only what you really need. You have succeeded in life when all you really want in life is really what you need. Vernon Howard there giving you that quote of the day this morning. It's exactly 20 minutes to 9 o'clock on this 29th day of April 2013. This has been Sunrise Live. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day. We will see you again tomorrow. Remember, it's all about what we're calling now civic education, so no longer voter education. K-Nice is back tomorrow, and we will be discussing devolution. Very important for all of us to understand. My name is Yvonne Oklara. Do join us again and keep it with us throughout the course of the day. This is KTN, your authoritative news channel.
KTN Sunrise Live in association with Minute Maid. Enjoy the variety of naturally delicious